Hey, welcome to 2017 JavaScript Society New Zealand AGM. So we have the committee in presence, and hopefully we've got a few people who are at least going to watch this. We've got three viewers apparently. So for those of you who are viewing and not part of the meeting officially, you're more than welcome to use the chat feature on YouTube. I'll be monitoring that. Of course, we also have the Slack channel where people are welcome to post comments about what we're talking about. We'll also be using the Slack general channel in order to vote today. There'll be very simple voting procedures involving basically emojis, so reaction emojis. So thumbs up and thumbs down are the reaction emojis that you want to use today. And we'll be posting all our votes on general. We're hoping everybody's present, so we'll not leave a huge amount of time for voting. I'm sorry, everybody, but if you do want more time, please just leave a comment and we can leave a topic open, and we're more than welcome to fill in more information in this AGM as people need it. A lot of it's just going to be procedural. There are a few things we need to get through as a standard AGM. Just to let everybody know, we're going to be presenting our annual report from our accountants, just to say where all our money has been spent over the last year. I'll hand over to Alex in order to do that one. I've also got a little bit of an address myself, if I can find it. I still haven't managed to find that, which I wrote a while back, but I'll search for that. And then we'll also go into kind of the main part of the evening, which is election of the committee for 2017 to 2018. So great. So first of all, in no particular order, I guess we'll hand over to you, Alex, if you wouldn't mind just posting a link to the annual report on general. We'll ask members to approve it with a thumbs up, or if any issues, just commenting on it with a thread. And if you wouldn't mind giving us a brief verbal rundown of what the annual report says.
Cool. I'm just posting it now. All right. So after a long, lengthy change of accountants, we finally got an annual report done. Pretty streamlined. Just trying to flick through it now to pull up the points of interest. The main difference between the previous financial year and this financial year was that we hosted the New Zealand JavaScript conference, which took us from around about 14K annual budget to somewhere in the vicinity of 70K. So that caused us to become GST registered. That happened, I think, late January. All of it's there in the fine print. Down the bottom, you'll see most things are split into 3 different groupings. So there's NodeBots, the Wellington JavaScript meetup, and the New Zealand JavaScript conference. I think that's about it. This has been on GitHub for over a month now for people to review. We're happy with it so far. We just need final sign-off by the AGM. Should we put it to a vote?
Great. I've put a message into the Slack channel, so if everybody could jump onto general and give it a thumbs up if you're happy to approve the report, and we'll go from there essentially. In the meantime, to allow people time to vote, what I am going to do is I'm also going to post the chair's address. So the chair's address is a standard thing we do every year, where the chair, myself, I have to write, or I like to write a paragraph or so about what we've achieved in the last year. Obviously, we're all volunteers in this society. We all do a hard job outside of this society, and then we also have to commit some time to this. So I do want to reflect my thanks on the entire committee for all of their dedication this year. The JavaScript conference was a big thing we did. Sorry, one sec. I'm trying to type and speak at the same time, which never works very well. The JavaScript Society was great. I just realized I've copied far too much. Sorry, one sec. So yeah, so we're now going into year 3 of the JavaScript Society. The last 2 years have been pretty much formaic. Is that a word? Have I just made up a word? Forming for the society. We've learned how to do a whole bunch of stuff, work together as a committee, put together a great conference, and also grow great initiatives such as NoBots throughout the year. Really appreciate everybody's support on the committee. Really want to thank each and every one of you for the hard work you've done, and also thanks to our members who have played an important part of keeping the society running, and also been a great year for promoting the JavaScript group, the use of JavaScript, the language, and the professional takeoff. We've also had a great award this year, a number of awards, two awards this year that were given out at the conference, which is great to see the recognition of the society. And thanks, Anna, for putting that together and being a champion of that. So individually, I think everybody on the society, everybody in the committee has done an amazing job. I can point to great achievements from each and every one of you, and I want to thank you all for your dedication, and look forward to the committee having a great year ahead next year, whoever might be voted onto the committee. I should say. So thanks, everybody. I've put that up, and I'll put another comment to make sure that people can vote too. There's not really anything to accept in that address. It's kind of just, that is the address. I make sure people read it and they're there. Okay, so one quick comment, Alex. We're looking at the April 2015 to March 2016 report. I don't think so. There should be a later one, shouldn't there?
1 second. Yes, there should be. 1 second.
Is it still open? Nope. Yeah, that was the Inspiral one. I think there's a...
Yeah, I must have put it into a different repo. I'm just going to drop the whole file into Slack.
Okay, cool.
All right. So
okay,
my same talking points apply to this report. They don't apply. Also, yeah. Did we want to talk about the budget? Is there a case to get that signed off at this AGM as well?
So, so there isn't a need for a budget to be signed off by a wide AGM. That is an operating procedure for the committee. As long as the report contains how we've expended last year, you're more than welcome to present. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't. So, do you want to give an overview? But we don't necessarily need to vote on it.
Yeah. Well, actually, the budget's nicer to see what happened during the last financial year than that annual report.
Okay.
So I'll just share the budget. So this is what we've cooked up. Basically, it's the same as the previous year in a lot of categories. We've got. We're hoping to see an improvement in membership. We aimed quite high last year, but we just didn't get the Stripe automatic payments off the ground quickly enough, and we didn't announce it when we did get it off the ground in time before the financial year ended. So looking at NodeBots, it's almost identical. I think it is identical to the year before. And with NodeBots, we didn't quite make the sponsorship target that we wanted, and we were just shy of the ticket targeting. So hopefully this year we'll get that back up again. We overachieved on the Wellington JS meetup, thanks to really well-funded sponsors that came on board. And the JavaScript conference was interesting because it was the first time running it. Jen did a really good job of budgeting what we thought we were going to spend, and we ended up spending over, but also finding sponsorship well over our target, and the tickets came well over the target budget for the tickets as well. So I've taken the middle ground between what we budgeted for and what the actuals were for the New Zealand JavaScript conference, and pegged it at around $45,000 worth of sponsorship and $22,500 worth of tickets, bringing it to a total of $67,500. And this is mainly inflated due to the venue costs might be considerably higher in Auckland. We don't know for sure. That's a bit flexible. I literally told Stevie about this yesterday. So it's up to the organising committee of the Auckland New Zealand JavaScript conference to figure out if that matches what they expected. And then the rest of the stuff is the same as before. This time we've got accountant fees to pay. And we should also look to bringing in the website hosting across to us. I think it might be paid for by someone's personal credit card on this committee. But anyway, they're points that can be taken to the next meeting.
No worries. Yeah, great. I think we have 10 thumbs up for the annual report, even though technically the thumbs up were happening before we posted the correct annual report. But we'll take that as an acceptance. It's pretty much formulaic. I think really what you're looking for is any comments about things we might have missed in that report, more than anything else. And we're more than happy to accept those comments after today. So don't think that we're going to accept it as is and then never revisit it if there is something that people bring up. Okay, so we've done the report. We've done chair's address. We'll move on to committee election, unless anybody has any other issues that they'd like to bring up at the AGM this time around. Okay, we all happy to continue? Okay, so the first, let me bring up the committee election repo. I guess I'll start with myself, or at least the chair role, just so that I have a mandate to continue chairing this meeting. Otherwise, I should step back and somebody else should do it. So the first vote that's going to come up is to elect myself back to being chair for the next year for JavaScript New Zealand. By no means am I unwilling to take somebody else's nomination, but unfortunately the nomination period has lapsed without anybody else coming forward. So as with all the committee votes today, they will be unopposed, as they're called. There is no other person to take who's stepped up to take those roles. So give me 1 second. I'm going to type this in, and I'm very bad at talking and typing at the same time. I can't even type. Right. So I've posted a little bit about myself. No, I haven't. I've just said, hey, I'm more than happy to do it. I should say something about myself, shouldn't I? Okay, a little bit more about myself. So obviously I've been chair for the last year. I was part of the committee the year before that. I'd love to stay part of the committee, and I'm more than happy to act as chair this year again, if people want me to do that. There is lots we can do in the next year that I see coming forward. I'm hoping we get lots more of people's time, lots more work on getting members through the door, and I'd love to be able to continue that work, essentially. Okay, so that's the first one up. Okay, so second up for election is the role of treasurer. So that's Alex. So Alex, if you would get ready to post something about yourself. Okay, so Alex, if you'd like to post something about yourself and maybe give yourself a little bit of a rundown on the video, that would be great.
Like the comments say, I've been the treasurer since the beginning. I think it's hard. I haven't written up any documentation about being the treasurer, so if I was to drop off now, it'd be pretty horrible for anyone else picking it up. I'm quite keen to hand this role over at the end of the end of the financial, basically the next AGM. So I'll be looking to find someone to replace me earlier, potentially whenever suits. But the problem is there's a lot of knowledge that's locked in my head that I need to get out of there. Hopefully through documentation, but if worst comes to it, then we'll just do a in-person handover. But again, it's a tricky one because there's quite a few revolving things inside the society accounts, particularly NodeBots and now the New Zealand JavaScript conference. And like the comment says, I'm very interested in seeing if we can bring other meetups into the fold. The Wellington JavaScript meetup's going really well. We find it really easy to get sponsorship, and the way that we do reimbursement claims is quite well suited to just a monthly event. So yeah, with that.
I muted myself and I forgot I muted myself. Thanks very much, Alex. That's awesome. Sorry, this is just too many things trying to do at the same time. Thank you so much for taking on Treasure for the last 2 years. It's been really greatly appreciated. Oh, you already have somebody volunteering to become an assistant, so that'll be great. Okay, cool. We'll let that vote continue until we hit 7 people. But I've posted a here vote in general if people want to make sure that they jump on that one in order to re-elect Alex. The next position that we're voting for is the position of secretary, which is Samson. You've been great at doing this for the last year, and we've nominated you again this year. So I'd love you to post a little bit about yourself, and then maybe let us know on the video who you are and what your role's been for the last year.
Hey everyone, I'm Samson. Currently work at Flick Electric as a senior developer, about to become a technical coach at Bank of New Zealand. And yeah, I've been with the JavaScript New Zealand Society for a year now as a secretary. Feel like I was a little shaky at first, remembering to make it to meetings, but felt like I have kind of hit my stride, and I'm happy to do it for another year. I feel it's the least I can do for considering all the wonderful work that everyone on the society does. So I really appreciate it for the work that everyone does, and wanted to help out in my way. So it's me.
Great, thank you very much, Samson. So people have, well, Samson's been re-elected. There are 8 votes against you, so congratulations, Samson. And it's great to have you back on as secretary for the next year. Great. So the next person I'm going to put up is Anna. It would be great if you're ready to post something about yourself, but we'd love to welcome you to being up for election as a committee member. One sec. There we go. That's the one I'm trying to post. So Anna, you've been a committee member for the last year. We'd love you to post a little bit about yourself, and then let us know on video who you are and what you're all about.
Hello, my name is Anna. Time flies, like it feels like I started this coding stuff just yesterday, but it's been almost 2 years already. Last year I helped with the first JavaScript New Zealand award. We awarded 2 wonderful people as the best contributor and the best educator in JS field in New Zealand. This year, I'm ready to help the next conference organizers with the award details and procedures. And I still have unfinished task. I raised the issue, but I really want to proceed with this. I want to organize, with the help of the society, a fund that will help New Zealand JavaScript developers who don't have a backup of big companies and big funds to go abroad and speak at the big global conferences and to represent our New Zealand JavaScript society.
Awesome, thank you very much, Anna. You've got 8 votes against your name, so I'd like to welcome you back to the committee for the next year. I'm really thrilled and stoked to have you on board. I'd also like to welcome Alex officially as treasurer. You received enough votes, and you are officially treasurer for the next year as well. So thank you very much to both of you, and look forward to another year working alongside you. Okay, next up is James McPhee. James, if you wouldn't mind getting ready to post a little bit about yourself, and I'll put the voting up. So James has been committee member for the last year, and has been a great part of the society. If you'd like to post something about yourself and then tell us about yourself.
Cool. Hey, I'm James. So I've been part of the. I'm a JavaScript developer in Wellington, working at 8i. I've been part of the committee for the last 12 months, and I've been working with Nodebots just a wee bit before that. So I'm quite keen on just helping out the committee, like I have this year. I think the main things I've contributed are just sort of picking up things that need to be done, getting the website and the Stripe integration for all our subscriptions has been, I think, the biggest thing I've contributed this year, and also just want to be part of the committee so I can continue with the NodeBots as well. That's me.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay. Let me go back to general. Cool. Okay, next up we have Jen. So Jen, if you're willing to post a little bit about yourself, I'll post a vote, and you're more than welcome to post something and then tell us a little bit about yourself.
Here is some text I prepared earlier. Hello everybody, I've been on the committee for quite a while now, since we originally talked about founding the society. I'm very happy to be part of the committee. I was quite instrumental in the JavaScript conference that happened earlier this year, and I'm very much looking forward to sticking around just to make sure that we keep on putting that work in to make the conference a great thing. And yeah, very much happy to be here, and hope to keep on representing you and building this thing up.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jen. And people are more than welcome to go and vote. That's on general. James, I'd like to welcome you as officially part of the committee for next year. Thank you very much. Okay, next up, Stevie, who's online. And then we have two people who are part of the committee who aren't online today. And I'll try and prepare some notes. So Stevie, here we are. If you'd like to do the same, post something about yourself and tell us about yourself.
Hello, I don't really want to take up too much of your time talking about myself, but I'm Stevie and I wrote some text for you and it's in the channel, and I'd love to be here again next year.
Perfectly succinct. I like it. Thank you very much, Stevie. And welcome, Jen, officially to the committee for the next year. Thank you very much. Okay, next up is Kev, who isn't here tonight. So or if I can get his handle right. Where's Kev? Yeah, why isn't it highlighting Kev? Usually it highlights him. Okay, so Kev has been part of the society committee for the last 2 years, since the beginning, and is an active part of JavaScript user groups up in Auckland. I'll put some notes down. Yeah, so please, people, vote for Kev. And then the last one we have, who's not around, is phenomenal Craig. So Craig Spence, who again has also been beginning and has been a great part of the committee. I'm saying what I'm typing. This is really stupid. Okay, so Craig has been here since the beginning. He's a developer at TradeMe. He's been great, and he'd be a great part of the society, I think. The committee. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah. So, he works at TradeMe. I should put that.
I was trying to type up Kev's and Craig's one, but you beat me to it. I'll paste Craig's one here.
Cool. Great. So in fact, we are We're done. Like, that's everybody elected back to be part of the committee for this year. Nobody's nominated themselves out of the membership. But I would like to state before we close off tonight that people are more than welcome to nominate themselves or ask to become part of the committee during the year. We are able to elect, as committee members, we can elect people temporarily to the committee or ask people to join the committee. If committee members don't feel comfortable carrying on at any time, they're more than welcome to remove themselves from the committee, and we can replace them during the year. So I'd like to thank everybody for their continued support this year. I am looking forward to working with you all, but I would like to stress that this is a volunteer role. Don't feel like there is any reason apart from your own self, your own selfness. I don't really know how to phrase it. There's nothing but yourself that says you have to be part of this committee. So I'm grateful for you all sticking around. And I'd like to say to anybody in the membership that they're more than welcome to become part of this committee as well in future. Okay, so that's the end of an official AGM. It's one of the quickest ones we've had so far, at just over half an hour. I'd like to open the floor to anybody who has any other comments that they want to talk about, anything else that they'd like to bring up in front of the membership at this time.
Do you have a next meeting lined up at all?
Yeah, so the next meeting for the society will be back on for the committee, we'll be back on our standard schedule, so the first Sunday of every month. So the next one will be, if I can bring up my calendar,
the 1st of October.
Boom, somebody's there before me. Thank you so much, Stevie. Yes, so the 1st of October is the first Sunday in October, and there will be a committee meeting on that day. If anybody has trouble with this recurring monthly committee meeting slot that we have, please feel free to bring that up in the committee channel. You're more than welcome to. We can reevaluate that. We've just been running at it for the last 6 months or so, and the whole aim of having much more regular meetings is so that you can miss a couple if you have to. But if you're finding that you can't make any of them, then please let me know.
I won't be at the October one, so I wonder if I should just raise this issue that I raised in the society meetings the other day.
Yeah, let's talk about that one while we have a quorum of committee around. You're more than welcome to. Do you want to talk about it?
I'm just trying to find it. Issues. Here we go. Suggestion to suggest Dunedin City Council rename their internship program. The title's spelled badly at the moment. I'll fix that. So this is issue number 69 in the society's meetings issue thing. I'll paste a link into Slack for everyone. So Dunedin City Council have an internship program. It's not just limited to IT, but it's based it's aimed at university students, and it's unfortunately called Sexy Summer Jobs. I think it came up for the first time in the Jobs Slack chat. I'd known about it for a while now, and when I first saw it, I did raise my eyebrows at the name. I took a double look because I didn't think it was serious, but they are serious, and I just can't. I don't understand how they accept the branding of that. But anyway, I wonder if we should, as a society, suggest that the naming may not be conducive to having an open and diverse culture of industry, and they may not know about it. They may know about it, but as a society, I'd love to be able to suggest that they rename themselves. Does anyone else have any thoughts or opinions on this?
Sounds good to me.
Go for it.
Yeah, we we just have to write them a letter, and they may or may not pay attention to us, but taking a stand on some of these things is pretty important. And, you know, we're in a good position as a society to be a sort of a neutral party, and the diversity issues that it raises that you mentioned, Alex, are quite clearly against what the society stands for.
Yeah, I think we as a society have an obligation to uphold our and promote inclusiveness in tech and outside of tech. I think it's only right that we should put together a letter to whoever's running it, and I think they're pretty open about who's running it. It's pretty easy to find them. And I think you're, as is suggested on general, we don't want to be too passive. We do want to tell them why it's wrong and what bad messages it gives out, and why this is detrimental to intern employment as a whole in New Zealand. I'm more than happy to run it past the committee. Actually, I'm happy to put it to the general channel and let everybody weigh in, as it is going to be penned as part of the society, and then certainly send it on behalf of the society as the chair. So I guess we can just do a committee vote on that, unless anybody has any other comments. Yeah, so all those in favour of putting together a letter and sending it out to them? Okay, that's unanimous. Cool, I'll get on to that as soon as possible. The other thing that I just want to raise, and I have raised it in a comment in Slack, is that as of this AGM, we will be revisiting people's memberships. We will be sending out some emails for people who have signed up for membership more than a year ago, asking them to re-sign up via our Slack. Via our Stripe account, and we'll be slowly migrating everybody over to Stripe only, and they will be renewing memberships rather than one-off memberships that they have been in the past. We did discuss that at the last committee meeting or a committee meeting before that, but I just want to make sure that people are overly aware that this is coming, and your membership will expire if you haven't paid within the last year. Okay. I think that's everything. So the only thing that goes out is to thank everybody for attending and for listening, the committee for being part of the society again this year, and look forward to speaking with you all again at the next committee meeting. Please feel free to raise issues on GitHub. That's how we find things to talk about as a committee, things to bring up. Just to quickly answer a question, it's $25 a year is our membership. Thank you, Stevie. You've also jumped in there. And yeah, I'll see you all again in a couple of weeks at our next committee meeting. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of our AGM.
Thanks.
Thanks.
See you all.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good week, everyone.